Cancer, what is going on? Let's see what you need to know right now. Let's find out what area of life we're looking at. 12th house, that's your subconscious mind, your spirituality, what's hidden, secrets. Okay, what's going on with this? Can we get more, please? Always remember to take what resonates, throw out what doesn't. If nothing's resonating, check out your other sign placements. And I hope you're doing well. What do we got going on for the 12th house here, going on for Cancer? Knowledge. It's your Akashic records. Okay. Got some knowledge. Whoa. Fire. So fire's definitely related to spirituality as well. And friendship. So this feels, I want to say, feels a little bit like I think you are waking up to the fact of there's passion in you. For a friend, or you have the passion in you to make new friends, and you're gaining the knowledge, right? So again, 12th house, like I said, is secrets, and it's things that are hidden. So I think you're starting to gain the knowledge regarding your passion, your fire, for a friend, or just new friendships, right? So you might be embarking on a more spiritual path now, and you're finding yourself wanting to connect more with spiritual people, other spiritual people. Can we get more on this, please? We got bounty hunter. Divine feminine. Entrapment. So either you are the divine feminine, or it's a divine feminine friend. You take that as it resonates. There's no gender in tarot. So it could be either way. It could be masculine in their feminine energy, vice versa. Or I could be talking to the feminine, or it is, a feminine that you're interested in. You place parties where it fits. But it looks like either you or someone's in pursuit of you. Okay, so with the passion, so there is a friendship that I want to say pulls on you, or they pull on you, right? Your heart. It's like you feel very much connected, and this has been hidden. And now it's, okay, you're gaining the knowledge that there is some sort of spark for a friendship. Okay? Yeah, present moment. Like I was saying, you're currently gaining the insight on this. Okay. So it's like maybe subconsciously you had feelings for a friend, or they had feelings for you, and it's a friendship, but now somebody's realizing, okay, I think I want a little more. Yeah, triggered. Yeah, so they're triggered. So they're triggered by you, or you're triggered by them. Okay, and because of this triggering feeling, it's like, okay, it's pulling on me, right? It's pulling on me. I'm feeling this right now. It's a strong pull. Ooh, okay. So let's get a little more on the divine feminine here. Tell us more. Tell us about the divine feminine. King of Cups in reverse. Ooh, Ten of Cups in reverse. So either you withdrew from this friend, or they withdrew from you, right? There hasn't been any happiness, right? There may have been a fight. You're not harmonizing anymore. We've got the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, so it's like someone's lost their zest for life. They're not feeling motivated. They're emotionally shut down. They're withdrawn. Okay, and that's, because of, with everything being in the reverse, you haven't been harmonizing. Or they haven't been harmonizing with you. I don't know who I'm talking to or who's, viewing this. So you place parties where it fits. But there's definitely, and that's why the heartstrings are being pulled on. And, it's a triggering feeling. Because there hasn't been any... there just hasn't been any happy conversations, happy get-togethers, happiness just in general. Somebody hasn't been feeling happy. So tell me about the triggers. Ooh, we got the Fool in reverse. We got the Six of Cups in reverse. Yeah, so they're very much holding on to the past of this connection. Holding on to maybe something they did or you did may have been foolish, and they're triggered by what they did in the past or how they acted in the past. We got the Knight of Cups in reverse. So either you disappointed them and gave them bad news, or they gave you bad news, but it's like maybe it was because, okay, if you were friends, maybe they had given you bad news at one point saying, hey, I'm going to keep this in the friend zone, and now they're hung up and triggered by what had happened in the past, by, well, we're just going to keep this friends. It's only friends. And so somebody had more feelings, and now they feel, oh, that was kind of foolish of me to keep this in the friend zone. Because truthfully, I'm very passionate about this person. And currently, I'm gaining the knowledge because I'm triggered, right? So if you're triggered by somebody you were friends with, you're not seeing anymore, there was a falling out, right? There wasn't any real romance or cup of true love offered. You know, it caused disappointment. So you or somebody decided to just kind of move on. They're like, okay, well, if this isn't more than friends, then I'll just go on my merry way. And now somebody feels foolish because they're like, well, okay, so maybe I did have feelings. I didn't think I did, but I kind of do. And oh, by the way, now I want to be in pursuit of this divine feminine. But the divine feminine is a little closed off. And not open to giving love or emotions. So now they're shut off. So whoever received the bad news that, oh, we're keeping this in the friend zone, they shut down. They shut their emotions down. So whoever the divine feminine was at one point open with their feelings and emotions. And when it was put in the friend zone, they closed the doors. Makes sense, right? If somebody doesn't want to have romance or have a relationship, right? Or actually date or be in any kind of romantic commitment, the person's gonna close the door, right? It makes sense. But I think since the door's been closed, somebody's realizing that was a little bit of a mistake. Okay, so how does Cancer feel about this situation? We've got the Ace of Swords in reverse, and we've got the Magician in the reverse. It's like not clear. You know, there's communication blocks and it's not clear. So communication, it's like either no communication or the communication's so simple there's not enough clarity to even understand what's happening in this situation. And there's the Knight of Swords in reverse. Yeah, it's like the conversation, if there is any at all, it's not going anywhere. It's not clear. It's not going anywhere if there's any communication at all. So you wouldn't know this, or if you're blocking the communication with them, however you take this, it's not going anywhere. So it's in a state of confusion because I guess of how it was last left off. And now somebody's like, a little triggered, a little triggered by this now. Okay, so let's switch decks real quick. Let's go to the yin yang. So what's going to happen here? What's going to happen? Because if there's no communication and somebody's gaining knowledge that, oh, well, I have a little fire for my friend. Well, what's going to happen then? Or what could happen? Doesn't mean it's going to happen, right? Just because somebody's thinking they want to do something or say something, it doesn't mean they're going to. It's just the current energy. But let's see. Spirit guides. The Wheel of Fortune, that's the Fate card. Higher Self activation. This looks to me, because we're talking the 12th house, right? And I said that, in the beginning, having, your 12th house is your spirituality. And I think I mentioned in the beginning that, maybe having fire for a friend or to connect with like-minded friends, I'm feeling like you both are a spiritual connection, a very strong soulmate connection. And so it's like, because the knowledge is the Akashic records and we're talking 12th house, I feel like you or them, you take this as it resonates, is receiving the knowledge and guidance and the signs of what this relationship is through their spirit guides, right? It's like gaining divine assistance, right? Following the numbers, the synchronicities, right? Are they having dreams about this person? It's like they're trying to turn the wheel. It's like they're trying to turn the wheel of fortune to get this person to wake up to their higher self, okay? To awaken to a new timeline. So there may be communication blocks simply because of each of you being on a different timeline. And so if someone's feeling triggered currently in the moment, right, and they're starting to gain this knowledge, that's because it's like the spirit guides, the divine is trying to wake one of the parties up to their higher self and recognize who this person is to you or to them, right? However you take this. And when you wake up to the connection and what this person means to you, that's when the wheel of fortune can start to turn, and maybe some communication at that point can come in. So let's get some signs here for you. Let's get some signs. Okay, we've got Pisces, Aries, Sagittarius, Gemini. I'm hearing one more. Capricorn. So it can be any of those signs. It doesn't have to be, but those are some strong signs coming through. Of course, we got the cards. There's the Aries that came out, the Gemini, Virgo. We've got water here, water, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and then this Pisces came out. Okay. Let's get a moon card. Yeah, it's always disappointing when you have somebody in the friend zone. You put in the friend zone, but then it's like, how good of friends were you? Because, you know, some of the best relationships start out as really good close friends. Rain moon, renewal, healing, emotional cleansing. A time for emotional cleansing and renewal. Where you release pent up emotions and heal from the inside out. So somebody was holding in their emotions, and I actually feel both of you to a point are holding in emotions, and it's time to heal those emotions for a possible renewal, right, of this connection, right? So it's, you know, like I said, the communication was blocked, and if there is any, it's not clear, right? The conversation, there's no real direction on, let's move this to the next level. I don't want to just be friends. I'd like to be more. And that's part of the emotional release, is having that conversation and opening up about that. So somebody's on fire for a friend, and it's a spiritual connection. The divine is trying to get somebody on the right timeline so that they can clear the blocks and have this emotional conversation and maybe get past the friendship zone. That's what it looks like to me. Okay. Cancer, I hope this was helpful. If it resonates, drop a comment, share, like, subscribe. I appreciate you. And I do hope that this helped somebody. this is what you needed to know. Much love and light. I will talk to you soon.